You are listening to the Exceptional Conservative Network. For more information, go to www.theexceptionalconservativeshow.com.
About this fake news. You were the subject of a fake news story.
Oh yeah, what they say? I was running for president. No, I voted.
No,
what they say?
You switched your support.
I switched.
Trump.
Yeah.
What do you make of all the fake news that it affects?
If you don't read the newspaper, you're uninformed. If you do read it, you're misinformed.
So what do you do?
That's a great question. What is the long-term effect of too much information? One of the effects is the need to be first, not even to be true anymore. So what a responsibility you all have to tell the truth, not just to be first, but to tell the truth. We live in a society now where it's just first. Who cares? Get it out there. We don't care who it hurts. We don't care who we destroy. We don't care if it's true. Just say it, sell it. Anything you practice, you'll get good at, including BS.
You told me last night.
Okay. But you heard me? Does that make sense?
Hey, good day to you all. Welcome to the new. I'm your host, Randy Perm. And happy Red Friday and fantastic Friday. This is a time that we take to thank our men and women who serve in our nation around the world. We salute you and we thank you for your service, sacrifice, and commitments to our nation and keeping us free and our liberties intact. And we hope that you you make it home safe and sound wherever you may be around the world. So today is going to be kind of an abbreviated day. Do have some things lined up this afternoon. So I'm here with you for now. But anyways, I hope you all had a great weekend. Mine was pretty busy with a bunch of Zoom calls and webinars all week and dealing with this little terrorist right here. I'm about to send him off to the FBI because he's on the wanted list for being a bad baby, but no, he's good. He's just being exploring the terrible twos early. Will you stop? Hey, you on TV? So, anyways, Representative what's his face? Henry Culler. He's speaking of FBI, his house and his campaign office was raided this week, and they're not disclosing as to why. What are you doing? What do you want? Go play. Go away. Kids, tell you. Get off my tie. Anyways, yeah, he was arrested for. No, not arrested. I'm sorry. His house and his campaign office was raided this week, and the FBI nor his staff and office or himself disclosed as to why. But nonetheless, it's mighty curious, mighty interesting that it happened to him because he is known to be a staunch critic of Joe Biden, president type with an asterisk, and he's considered to be a moderate Democrat. So whatever it is that he has going on, or whatever it is that he did, he's already a target. So you can kind of say that this is a political targeting of Representative Culler, but that remains to be seen as well. So that's what's going on with him, and I also find it a little ironic that the House District 28 has two other candidates running for his seat, and both of them are pretty staunch progressives. One of them said, on record that this district needs to be more progressive than what it is, and that's why they're running against Culler. So I wouldn't be surprised if this is some kind of internal operation to get him out of office and to try to bring up some charges against him. So that remains to be seen. Anywho, folks, we're gonna jump to a commercial break. This was actually planned. So we're going to jump to commercial break. So when we come back, we're going to get into some more headlines. So keep it locked right here. We'll see you in a couple of minutes.
You are listening to the Exceptional Conservative Network. For more information, go to www.theexceptionalconservativeshow.com.
Everything that's reported on television isn't always true, but it should be. NTD, the power of truth. Now available 24/7 on television and streaming platforms.
Hi, I'm Bob Record, and I'm the host of Strength for Living. Every week, we open the Word of God as the owner's manual because it helps us live life at its maximum effectiveness and avoid major breakdowns. We say, okay, so what does the Bible say? What does it mean? And what does it mean to me? We'll take that journey together. So join me every Sunday morning at 11 a.m. and we'll have a memorable experience. By the way, be sure and regularly watch all the programs on TECN TV.com. You'll be glad you did. And again, join me, Strength for Living, every Sunday morning, 11 a.m. And remember this, life is God's gift to you. What you do with it, that's your gift to Him.
Hello everyone, this is Global Impact with David McQuell, your host. Isaiah chapter 2 verses 1 to 5 says that a time is coming when the church will rise in authority and influence and dominate the earth. And many nations will come and say, teach us the ways of the Lord. Global Impact is a show that inspires you as a Christian to rise up through the values of the kingdom of God and shine as light wherever you may be. We believe that missions is no longer limited to some isolated, unreached community in some dark continent. The church should reach out to all aspects of life, including politics, business, science and research, the media and diplomacy, and every aspect of human life. Join us on Global Impact, Monday through Friday, at 2 p.m. Eastern Time and 6 p.m. GMT. Global Impact is broadcast on TECNTV.com. Join us.
Hey, good day to you all. I'm Randy Perham, host of the new Now Equipped with Wisdom with Randy and April. We air Mondays and Fridays at 12 p.m. Central Time, 1 p.m. Eastern on TECNTV.com. A little bit of background of our show. We discuss news, politics, current events, and life. And so it is named after my book, The New You, Now Equipped with Wisdom, that was written in 2014, and you can pick it up on Amazon.com. And once again, go to www.tecntv.com, or you can follow us on social media on Facebook at The New with Randy and April, or on BitChute and Rumble at our Perm on Mondays and Fridays, 1 p.m. Eastern, 12 Central. Hope you all have a blessed day, and we'll see you on the network. Take care.
So much is happening
West Africa
every day.
has a growing jihadism.
Every day. To make sense of it,
Okay, I'm standing right here.
join Ross Ojabo from Abuja, Nigeria, with The World Today with Ross at TECN TV.com. Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern Time,
Join me every day.
8 p.m. West African Time.
You're watching The World Today with Rose Achemi Ojabo on
TECNTV.com.
Welcome.
Get a sense of the world.
You're watching Beyond the Lines with Tiffany Jones, live from Los Angeles, California. Miss Tiffany Jones.
Are we doing it again? Live from Los Angeles.
Thank you. I just wanted to record that one. Congratulations. We'll see you tomorrow night.
Thank you.
11 p.m. Eastern Time, ladies and gentlemen, 8 p.m. Pacific. It is none other than Tiffany Jones, Beyond the Lines. You're going to really enjoy this show. Faith, family, freedom. Urban America is the final frontier for liberty in the United States. Abandoned by the right, oppressed by the left, the mainstream media presents urban Americans as inept victims to the world. Today, urban America has a choice. That choice is TECNTV.com. Watch the best in urban conservative news, talk, and movies. TECNTV.com.
You are listening to the Exceptional Conservative Network. For more information, go to www.theexceptionalconservativeshow.com.
Hey, welcome back. I got rid of the terrorists. See? What I could do in 5 minutes in my own household, just imagine what I could do across the world. But no, he's off with his auntie downstairs, getting ready for a nap. But there was a comment in the on my YouTube feed of this live show that all candidates should be primaried because it's time to get rid of these jokers. And I wholeheartedly agree that it is time. All the candidates should be primaried, absolutely. And it's unfortunate that we don't have enough candidates across the United States that's willing to go up against the establishment like that and put an end to the decades long career politicians place in office, because there's a fear of money being involved. There's a fear of raising capital. There's a fear of media engagement, people engagement, and things of that nature. And it's okay. I think that eventually we're gonna get to that point where money is going to slowly be a non-factor in politics, because people are going to realize that this person may not be able to raise $3 million, but they'll do a hell of a good job in office because that's where their heart is, and for the people and what have you, and that money will come later, in the event of another run and etc. So I think we need to look at the dynamics of money in politics and start changing the trajectory and how we think about political campaigns and what have you, and hopefully maybe we'll start seeing some changes here in over the next couple of years. And I personally like the UK model on how they do elections. They do it 6 months, get equal airtime, and you get basically equal money allocation. You know, if you raise $1 billion, good for you, but you know you're only going to spend this much, and that's I truly admire that model because it keeps it simple. You know, you get out there, you're running on your merits, not how much money you can raise. You know, and so and people see the genuine side of you versus you trying to pander for, you know, paychecks. You just go out there and present yourself as who you are and what you're bringing to the table, and let it roll from there. And let them show up to the ballot box and decide from there. It should be simple. I look at money being in politics as you, the American citizen, paying to participate in an election, paying to vote. That's why I look at it as sometimes. But that's just me. Anyways, over in the UK, speaking of the UK, the Prime Minister ended all COVID restrictions in the UK, and I find it ironic that being that he's under fire for participating in these parties or attending these parties, drinking, and you see video clips of him hanging out on terraces, having, you know, a cold drink with friends and everything else, unmasked and what have you, that, you know, he probably had no choice. The Queen said, look, if you want to keep your job, I suggest that you tell everybody that it's okay. They can be an adult. And that's what happened. And so here's the clip about it right here. Let's take a look.
We can return to Plan A in England and allow Plan B regulations to expire. As a result, from the start of Thursday next week, mandatory certification will end. Organisations can, of course, choose to use the NHS COVID pass voluntarily, but we will end the compulsory use of COVID status certification in England. The government will no longer mandate the wearing of face masks anywhere. Mr. Speaker, from tomorrow we will no longer require face masks in classrooms, and the Department for Education will shortly remove national guidance on their use in communal areas. In the country at large, we will continue to suggest the use of face coverings in enclosed or crowded spaces, particularly when you come into contact with people you don't normally meet, but we will trust the judgment of the British people and no longer criminalise anyone who chooses not to wear one.
Amazing. But you know what else is ironic? Is that you got the UK. Now follow me here, ladies and gentlemen. Follow me, because what I'm about to do is take you down a rabbit hole. Okay? You got the UK, all of a sudden, damn the science. We're going to just end, you know, mask mandates, and we're going to end the vaccine requirements and all that. We're just going to, everything just stops. And people can go back to normal. You make your decision and do what you want to do. Damn the science, right? Okay. Now, you have countries like Norway and Sweden, months back, they said, yeah, we're not going to play these reindeer games. We're just not, you know, it's the flu. People are going to just treat it like the flu. They die, whatever. And that's the approach that they took. And so the rest of the world, in sense, the rest of the world played along with the restrictions, the mandates, the compulsory ideologies of, you know, get the shot or else type of thing, and what have you. And now you're seeing slowly countries are dialing back because of the pushback. And then you have, I guess you could say, non-governmental agencies like commercial companies that are facing blowback. You know, the supply chain got held up. Airlines got held up because the employees are like, look, we're not going to play this game anymore. We just won't work. You can't, it ain't like you could just hire another pilot right now. you know, so type of thing. And so they had no choice but to flex and say, okay, you win, go ahead and fly. We'll leave you alone about the vaccine. That's essentially what happened. So you see, these countries, the UK had to be the first country to start the end of the pandemic by announcing that, okay, we're just gonna go back to normal now. Don't worry about everything. Just be you, do you, boo boo. And they had to be that country to do it. That way, if it was the United States, it would just all be too like suspicious. But it had to be an austere country like the UK. And then now you look at it from a scientific standpoint here. You had your controls and variables around the world, different environments, different weather conditions, different population types, and what have you. So these medical companies, these medical entities have a plethora of data that they have collected in the last 2 years to assimilate and do whatever it is that they plan to do towards the population. Bill Gates, for some reason, I don't know why he has a platform to speak on when and how and why a pandemic is going to end. I don't get it. Like who ordained you as God?
Bill Gates predicted Tuesday that after the Omicron wave of COVID-19 outbreaks dies down, countries will see fewer positive cases for the rest of the year, ultimately creating an environment where COVID could be treated like seasonal flu, the billionaire philanthropist said during a live Q&A session. Last week, Rochelle Walensky, the director for Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, said previous Delta infections do not prevent people from contracting the Omicron variant. She went on to say that Omicron infection could provide protection against testing positive for Delta, citing lab studies. It was uncertain whether an Omicron infection protects against another Omicron infection, Walensky said. With single-day COVID infections in the U.S. hitting record highs, the number of hospitalizations on Monday shattered the previous record. Surging COVID cases has exhausted the healthcare industry, with a growing number of states reporting staffing shortages at hospitals. Airline carriers have reduced flight schedules to adjust to a smaller workforce from workers calling in sick after contracting COVID-19. 57%. That's the percentage of U.S. adults who responded they had practiced social distancing in the past week by staying home and avoiding others as much as possible, according to a new Axios/Ipsos poll. The percentage of American adults taking precautions by socially distancing themselves was the highest since April 2021. Touching on global vaccine equity, Gates said unlike last year when most vaccines went to wealthy countries, the world has a lot of supply overall and the problems are logistics, demand and health systems in developing countries. WHO says Omicron is life-threatening for unvaccinated, elderly and people with underlying conditions. CNBC More Americans are social distancing than at any point since spring 2021, poll finds. Forbes U.S. reports record 1.48 million new COVID cases as hospitalizations near all-time high, Forbes W8.
So, once again, I guess Bill Gates plays a doctor in social media because he's not a doctor in real life. And for him to make these predictions and giving medical advice to the general public about as to when, if there's, since the numbers are low and most people are immune to it by now, most people have boosters. Dude, when's the next video game coming out? Why are you talking to me about what's going on with Omicron? Which, by the way, did you know Omicron stands for little o in the Greek alphabet, followed by Omega for big O. Alpha, Omega, the beginning and the end, little o. We're near the end. Something to think about, folks. Something to think about. I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but everything's a conspiracy until it's proven true. So, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to jump to a commercial break. Keep it locked right here. See you in a couple minutes.
You are listening to the Exceptional Conservative Network. For more information, go to www.theexceptionalconservativeshow.com.
Every adventure starts with a great cup of coffee.
That's what we're trying to do. We're fueling people to go do epic shit in life.
When I was roasting coffee 1 pound at a time in the back tailgate of a government truck, my service rifle was laying right there next to my 1 pound coffee roaster.
The symbology of Black Rifle Coffee. Everybody went to a basic training, and during that process, they ended up shooting a black rifle.
When we think about the last 20 years of post 9/11 veteran experience, the one common piece of equipment that binds us all is the black rifle.
That was your service rifle, and that's kind of a tribute to our service and what we want to serve as the coffee company.
It goes all the way back from the genesis of the country in 1773. It was the Boston Tea Party. From that point forward, America made coffee a hot drink of choice. All the way back to the birth of America has been fueled by coffee. That's why it's so special. The musket all the way through to the M4, the two other things there are rifles, coffee, service, right? I think those are the things that connect a lot of different veterans throughout the generations. It's heritage, it's service, and so kind of the whole thing is like we're fueled by coffee, connected by service.
It stems from a value proposition or something that we absolutely believe in. That's what we're trying to do. We're fueling people to go do epic shit in life, but then we're all connected through this post-service or in-service aspect of raising our right hand and believing in, you know, the American dream and what it stands for to be an American. And for me, that's hyper-unifying.
There's people who are constantly in harm's way serving our country, and we need to facilitate them getting coffee as a priority for what we're trying to do as a company.
This company is about the customer. The customers are the company. It's one big ecosystem, and we serve coffee to the same type of people that we are, so they're one and the same.
It's this constant drive to constantly be evolving what we're doing to give our customers a better coffee experience. Whether that's a new steep bag, instant coffee, or exclusive coffee that's from a different type of origin country. The same drive that puts people from basic training into the infantry, into a type of special operations capacity, it's this constant evolution of trying to better yourself. And that's exactly what we're doing when it comes to coffee, is offering better products on a regular cadence to have a better experience as a customer.
We have the mission to provide coffee and culture to people that love America.
Getting crazy, baby, chill. Don't medicate, just meditate. You waking up now, well, baby, you hella late. Educate, look at what's going on, let it resonate, accelerate. Find your inner hunger like you never ate. Agenda is to push the hate, separate and segregate. Don't celebrate quite yet, the storm is coming, Q, for heaven's sake. Violence that they demonstrate, instigate and penetrate. The values of our country and our God is what they desecrate. My fighters ain't no featherweight, pulling out the seams of the fabric that they fabricate. They feed us lies, manipulate, intimidate through fear and force, forcing us to sit and wait till we come together, congregate, and then we liberate. Praying that you give me strength to find some love amongst the hate. Marching on these streets of blood till I see the golden gates. Troubadour and troubled souls, one of God's servants. Blades out, cut the grass till we see the serpents.
One day I hope you see the truth. This puppet show stays on because of you.
swallow, just digest it. Suspected something's going on, but chose to just neglect it. Deflected by some breaking news, oh, we just accept it. Expected just to fall in line and follow their perspective. Don't question their objective, but I got a lot of questions. How these kids molested, but nobody's been arrested. Read it in the testament, these children are protected. So I'm fighting all these terrorists, both foreign and domestic. Refuse to be directed, blind, not a sheep. Only kneel to my God, so I'm dying on my feet. Silence when we speak, but there's violence in the street. I've been rolling with the punches, I can't take it on the cheap. Drink from a glass half full, I'm optimistic. People are sadistic, so vicious and malicious. Praying for assistance to overcome opposition, or I'm gonna start resisting and then I'll pray for forgiveness.
One day I hope you see the truth. This puppet show stays on because of you fools. We've been dancing with the devil way too long. I know it's fun, but get ready to pay your dues. Oh God, come back home. This crazy world is filled with liars and abusers. We need you now before we're too far gone. I hope one day they finally see the truth. God, we need you now. 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 One day, one day, one day, I hope you see the truth. This puppet show stays on because of you fools. We've been dancing with the devil way too long. I know it's fun, but get ready to pay your dues. Oh God, come back home. This crazy world is filled with liars and abusers. We need you now before we're too far gone. I hope one day they finally see the truth. God, we need you now.
You are listening to the Exceptional Conservative Network. For more information, go to www.theexceptionalconservativeshow.com.
Hey, welcome back. Welcome back from our extended break. That was a super extended break, but that's okay. That was Struggle Jennings and Caitlin Curtis with God We Need You Now. I kind of like just fell in love with that song because it like just resonates so much to what's going on today and how there are so many puppets in the world and we're just sitting back allowing the show to go on. You know, so it's just like, you know, wow, this song really speaks to me, and so I want to share that with you all today. But speaking of puppets, the Senate Republicans blocked the voting rights bill this week also, and blocked the filibuster challenge to change the rules. And I give kudos and applaud Senator Joe Manchin and Senator Kirsten Sinema for standing up and protecting our institutions by siding with the Republicans and blocking those two things. Now it's funny because Democrats are already calling these actions the segue to a fraudulent 2022 midterm election. It's like, So wait, let me get this right. Because there has been a upward trajectory of, let's say it, African Americans voting, and over the last 3-4 elections, upwards trajectory in voting participation, and that we're blocking, allowing willy-nilly to participate in the elections that's not a U.S. citizen by definition and by paper. And so that means that we're going to have a fraudulent election versus what happened in 2020 when we allowed somehow 81 million people to vote. Okay, whatever. That wasn't a fraudulent election. But okay, sure, got it. But folks, let me, if I may. Speaking of who's allowed to vote in the United States, according to the, in case of the removal of the president from office or his death or resignation, the vice president shall become president. Whenever there is a vacancy in the office of the president shall nominate a vice president who shall take office upon confirmation by a majority vote of both House and Congress. Oh, sorry, that's the 25th. I did it on purpose. But no, 15th, seriously. The right of the citizens of the United States to vote. I say that again. The right of the citizens of the United States
You are listening to the Exceptional Conservative Network. For more information, go to www.theexceptionalconservativeshow.com.